Hello my friends, Stevie B here. Hope you're doing great. I wanted to do a little Spotify update for you today. It's been a while and things have been happening. Before I get into it, I do want to give a huge shout out to the sponsor of today's video, DistroKid. You guys often ask me which distributor do I use to get my music out into the world of Spotify, Apple, and all other relevant streaming platforms. Well, my friends, it is DistroKid. I've been using them for a while now. I've used CD Baby and TuneCore in the past, and I'm gonna be honest with you, probably never gonna use them again. Why? Well, simply put, you can't beat DistroKid's pricing. And they just make the whole process so easy. Starting at $22.99 US a year, you can release an unlimited amount of music. And that works well for me because I've got a lot of music to put out and I really don't want to have to pay for each of my releases individually. I hate doing that. So look, all of you guys writing music for libraries and licensing opportunities, I know a lot of you are just starting to put some music together to pitch to Artlist and Motion Array and other music libraries, and you're trying to put together a Spotify profile ahead of the application. If you want to get your music on to Spotify and all of the other DSPs, I'm telling you, use DistroKid. I highly recommend them, and guess what? They gave me my own very special discount link, which is awesome. You can use that link to save 7% on your first year. I'll put that in the description of this video. Don't miss out on that deal. Okay, so the last time I did a Spotify update here on the channel, I was at a little over 100,000 streams total, with average monthly listeners hovering at around 5,000 a month. Today, I'm at nearly 450,000 streams total, and my monthly listeners have stayed above 10,000 for several months now, and the follower count is 852 at the time of this video. Now, all of this is great. I'm super happy, but it's not particularly noteworthy when you stack it up against the many independent artists who have like millions of streams and monthly listeners, which is totally achievable with the right playlist support and algorithmic traction. I think the thing that's really interesting about my own Spotify stats is that at the time that I'm recording this, I've never had any support from editorial playlists. I don't really do any promotion when a new song goes live on Spotify either, because I suck. I know I should, I really should, but quite frankly, I'm just always too busy. I'm trying to carve out more time for that kind of thing. I really am. And you know, I've never paid for promotion. I've never paid for like a Facebook or Instagram ad for Spotify. I've never used a service like Submit Hub. In fact, it's only ever been the opposite. I've been paid while my music promotes itself. That's the beauty of music licensing. So looking at the music I have up on my Spotify account, 90% of it is the music that I have on my Artlist catalog. There's one album up on my Spotify that's like a soundtrack that I scored for an indie movie, but otherwise it's pretty much just my licensing material. So for those of you who don't know, Artlist is a music library I've been working with closely for years now. I've got about 40 songs published with them, and there's a whole bunch more on the way. I'm definitely going to be over 50 songs by the end of this year. Artlist has two types of contracts with their contributors. They've got exclusive buyout contracts under their originals label, and they also have non-exclusive contracts as well. And all of these tracks that you're seeing on my Artlist profile are a mix of both of those agreements. When I first signed on with Artlist, they had this whole thing about there being like a crossover effect. They told me that artists on their platform would see a tangible effect on their streaming stats, and you know, to be honest, I was kind of skeptical about that because that had just never been my experience with the stock music libraries that I had worked with previously, like Pond5 or Audio Jungle. It always felt like the user who downloaded my track from those libraries had, you know, zero interest in the artist who had written it. And that's kind of understandable because those libraries didn't build their platforms to highlight the artists themselves. In fact, I might dare say that some of the stock music libraries out there, I don't know, you get the sense they don't seem to really care much about their contributors at all, but I don't want to get into all of that in this video. What I like about Artlist is that every song links back to a curated artist profile with a bio, and you can see all of the artist's releases on a single profile page. And I should note that all the pictures and album art you see for each release and the bio, all that stuff is mandatory. As a contributor, you don't get to opt out of that, and that's a good thing. You see, Artlist's profound insight into the licensing process is that they understood that if you can humanize the transaction between the licensor and the licensee, the value proposition is just so much higher. People are actually interested in who they're sourcing their music from, but only if the platform providing the music curates the experience in such a way as to say, hey, we value our artists and so should you. This is why I get added to user playlists on Spotify, and it's why I get tagged on Instagram posts and reels and advertisements that use my tracks in the background. People reach out to me regularly just to say hi and thanks for the music. People also reach out to me asking me if I want to, collab on stuff all the time. Even music supervisors and other industry folks have reached out to me personally, and to be honest, it really surprised me to see my monthly listeners steadily grow on Spotify as soon as my first release went live on Artlist. The whole crossover effect thing is actually the real deal. And not only that, but people have made music videos from my Artlist tracks and posted them up on their YouTube pages, which is hilarious. If you type in Stephen Bedall into YouTube, you can go watch some of them. Some of them are pretty good, actually. Anyway, this just adds to all of the, overall exposure that I get. And again, I didn't pay for any of it. These are tracks that are literally making passive income for me in the form of royalty payouts and streaming income. So I know this is starting to sound probably like a paid promotion for Artlist, and it's not, of course. They've never sponsored any of my videos or anything. It's just that I wish that more music libraries would operate like this. And it's really not a surprise that Artlist has more than like 20 million users worldwide at this point. So anyway, taking a look at streaming income, I just cashed out my first payment from DistroKid, which, by the way, was completely painless. It was awesome, no hassles whatsoever. Money was sent directly to my PayPal account within a few days of requesting the payout. So not including the streaming royalties I've received from Artlist on my exclusive catalog thus far, I had just under $2,000 US in the DistroKid bank, which was a nice little bonus for this year so far. Not paying the rent with streaming income yet, but hopefully I'll get there. And, hopefully I'll get there when I figure out how to actually promote my music a little bit better. I gotta get better at that. But, in the meantime, I will take as much free promo as I can get. So that's all I got for you today, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for tuning in. And if you're interested in learning more about music licensing, researching, and applying to music libraries, I've got a completely free course for you to get you started on that journey. There's a link to that in the description below. Feel free to hit it up and let me know what you think in the comments. Hit that like button for me if you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel, and in the meantime, I will see you soon. Take care.